Hi there, this is Bridget from the PlannerSpeechie. Welcome. Today I'm going to be planning for the week of March 3rd through the 9th using this kit from Planner Pixie Co. called A Whole New World. I did a base talk through of this beginning part in a separate video, which I will link in the cards right here, but that's why I'm doing this one a little bit faster because this video is actually not new, although this voiceover is. I did pull in some extra stuff that came with the kit because I printed it myself. I also had this foil bundle from Planahannah that I think went perfectly with it. The foil I used here is Sunset Hollow, which I think was stunning. And I'm looking at it right now and in different lighting, it looks gorgeous. So really don't pass on the Sunset Hollow. I think it's really, really pretty. And there were lots of fun quotes and culture themes tied in with this kit. So, I mean, it was just perfect. It was a perfect match. Planahannah has a lot of Disney bundles like this that I think would go with a lot of different spreads. And then, of course, this was from Once More with Love, this little sheet with characters that matched, and I used this throughout the week. So I'm speeding this up. I think it's at like 700%. And we have about 6 minutes, and I don't want to sort of rehash everything that I already said. So I did find this like fun facts about Aladdin, the 1992 movie, that I thought would be kind of fun to share with you. This is from an article from Entertainment Tonight, so I'll link that down below in case you want to read more, because I'm not going to do all of them. But essentially, there were a lot of things that I thought were kind of fun. The first one being that the genie was obviously written for Robin Williams, and he actually voiced over 60 different characters in the movie. I love it so much because I miss Robin Williams. He was such an incredible force of nature, and he's such a brilliant, creative person. So that this for me it was Robin Williams made this film one of my favorites of all time. The other thing that I think was really interesting, the person who voiced Apu also voiced the Cave of Wonders, which like I would not have put those two together for sure. But yeah, really really wild stuff. And then let's see. Oh, and of course my screen is frozen because of ads. Frozen is a different film, guys. We're not here for that. All right, let's see. What do we have? Uh Oh my goodness. So Jasmine's dress was almost pink because they wanted to sell more toys. I can't think of like a worse decision because I'm pretty sure that Jasmine is the only one with a blue outfit or like a teal outfit in the whole set of princesses, which is really crazy. Iago has a full set of human teeth because of Gilbert Godfrey, which I think is hilarious. And I never noticed that Iago has teeth. I've never really thought about it. And I mean, you can't really tell in this art that he has teeth, but um, if you watch the film back, you're like, holy cow, parrots don't have teeth. That's like really bizarre. um, but I love it. And the reason they gave Jafar those like large shoulder pads were so that they could really animate Iago on his shoulders, which I think is kind of hilarious. I love that the costume was driving the actions. Um, Apparently Scott uh Weininger Weinger, who voiced Aladdin, would get shirtless during his performance. I don't know why that's necessary, but that's kind of hilarious. Okay, so Abu, Raja, and Cave of Wonders was all voiced by the same performer, which is bizarre. I know I already said that, but yeah, I think this was one of those films that kind of broke all of the records. It sort of broke the barrier for what was possible in animated film. And I know that they combined a lot of computer animation and the traditional hand-drawn animation. And you can really see that, especially when they're escaping from the Cave of Wonders with the lamp, or they're trying to escape. I think that's been sort of done in other movies, but not nearly as well. Like, I think there's a scene in Harry Potter where they are trying to escape the room of requirement, and it's very similar, and the storyboarding is like very similar, and I'm like, you definitely took this from Aladdin. But anyway, so lots of different just fun characters. I'd love to know like who your favorite character in this film was. Do you have um any significant ties to this film at all? I really love seeing comments with like personal details. It's just really fun for me to read, and I love to interact with you guys. So just feel free to shout out anyone that was your particular favorite. Mine, of course, is the genie. I'll echo this. I know I already said this in the other video, but I do think that these two characters have the most on-screen chemistry that I think um, any Disney characters could have. And another shout out goes to the carpet. Animating a carpet is really, really challenging, and they gave it personalities, and I just thought that was so cool. But yeah, you can see all the shimmer and shine there. I have some regrets, the choices that I made for some of the placement of the quotes. Looking back, I kind of wish I could do things a little differently, but it was just so hard. There were just so many choices, and of course, I had to reconfigure all of the different date covers. I remember doing that. That was ick. But anyway, so we're about to get into the day by day, and it is going to slow back down. So for anyone who did skip this part because you'd already listened to the talk through and you didn't want to hear me talk again, I totally get it. But I am getting better at putting these hole reinforcers on, I have to say. I'm getting much, much better at it. And I just love this base so much. It was kind of sad for me to cover it up, but I think this was a good week to use it because I actually didn't have like a completely full week, and you're able to see some of the characters underneath really, really well. So let's see, what else did I do here? Oh, here's where I'm trying to add the stuff on the top. I kind of messed this up, but I also don't mind it. I think it looks kind of neat, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm really not. Uh, yeah. Was there any other fun fact that I wanted to share? I feel like there was one more that I saw that I thought was kind of wild, and now I can't remember what it was. Um, oh, Aladdin's look was uh inspired by Tom Cruise. What? Why? Why? Okay. Let's get into the day by day. All right. And now we're nice and slow so we can actually see everything at a reasonable pace. So this was the first full week of March. I had like a few things going on. If you've watched recent Plan with Me's, you'll know that I have been just trying to get through this quarter. Quarter three is a really long quarter in the school year because we don't have as much going on. Oh, I did shorten this box and I actually did it really well, but that script is from Carly Plans, and then of course any of the little characters that look like they're from the film are definitely from the Once More with Love bundle. So I did do speech therapy first thing on Monday. I just marked that I came home and I watched the second I finished the second season of The Jinx, which was really, really good. I do recommend if you are interested in the true crime genre, that's a really good one. I did have soup for dinner. That sticker is from Scribble Prints Co. It's actually huge. Like if you look at the size of it compared to the other stickers, it's like massive, and I don't really know why. I think that could be made a little bit smaller. Um, but yeah, so I did have to email my doctor because I hadn't heard back from them about the scheduling of a surgery that I have to have in the next couple of months. And all of a sudden it was on my calendar, but nobody had contacted me. And I thought that was really weird. So, and then I also marked that I did a YouTube binge. That script is from Amy Ray Plans, freebie from Carly Plans. And then the glitter YouTube is from. I do a lot of YouTube binging on Mondays because I feel like a lot of stuff comes out on Mondays. So this Tuesday was Mardi Gras or Fat Tuesday, depending on how you want to look at it. And that little icon is from Carly Plans. I did do speech therapy. And I tried to make the box a little bit smaller because I thought I was going to stick something underneath it, and then I ended up not doing it. So I could have left the box exactly as it was and not messed with it. and I messed with it a couple of times. I really need to stop doing this. Um, Although that does look a little bit better. And then I realized what I had done, and I tried because I had two stickers on the left-hand side, and I was going to try and change it. And then I realized I've already put the script down. It's not happening. So, whoops. I think I do stuff like this a couple of times in this week, and I don't really know why. So I did have an annual IEP. I tried to do it again. See, I think if you want to do all of the icons on one side consistently, it looks really, really good. If you're going to mix them up, you should really have them every other way. And this is just like my personal preference. But anyway, so I did have an annual IEP meeting. And then I also had an EC meeting at the end of the day. And then I went home and I marked that I made materials. And it's funny because I spent so much time making these materials and I ended up not using them, which was a little disappointing. Maybe I'll use them next year. They were themed for St. Patrick's Day, so my goal was to bring them in and use them, but I ended up not needing them because I had other stuff going on that week, and so I just didn't use it. But Wednesday, I did mark that it was Ash Wednesday, and we actually had this day off from school because there was a really bad storm. That sticker is from Stick with the Plan Co., and it is really much too big for that little tiny box. But anyway, we found out one of the things that's interesting is if you take kids on a school bus, the school bus has to withstand a certain amount of wind gust, otherwise it will tip over. And so if it has wind gusts that are higher than 30 or 40 miles per hour, the bus is at risk for tipping over. And if you can't transport students to school for free, then you can't have the school open. So we did have to close it. I did have an eligibility meeting, which I was able to do virtually, and I did do a little bit of reading this day. I started reading The Otherwhere Post, which is a great book by Emily Taylor, and I've been really into it. I had left my charger and a bunch of papers though at work because I thought I would be coming in the next day. And so I ended up driving to my school a little bit later in the afternoon once the storm had died down. So they really could have made it a half day, I feel like, but then the wind gusts did pick up again later, so it's probably better that they didn't. So I drove to school, I went to Publix, I got some groceries, I ended up going to CVS and picking up some medications. I didn't mark this, but we had a virtual staff meeting where we found out that they were actually cutting a lot of positions at one of the schools that I work at. Not mine, but other teachers, and that was kind of heartbreaking. And then I did mark that I worked on an eval report in the evening. Then on Thursday, I used the little Aladdin to mark that I had speech therapy. And I also marked that I had a little meeting, and I used a sticker from the foil bundle to mark that. I have those meetings every Wednesday and Thursday. And then I also had to do a speech screening surprise. And I had kind of a tough day. There was just a lot going on. I had people pulling me in different directions. I had questions um, about things that I couldn't answer. And so, towards the end of the day, I just had this really awful feeling. And so, you'll see that I'll mark with a sweet Ava paper sticker that I had a mental effing breakdown because when I got home, I was like, I don't know, it was like a very mood swing day. I was very, depressed about my job and I wasn't, I was doubting myself and it was just one of those days where there's too much negativity and you can't fight it and it just happens. Um so I did mark that in my planner. But I did go home and I tried to relax and I watched this sort of documentary called $1 Million American Princesses, which was narrated by the woman who plays Cora in Downton Abbey, and it was really interesting because it was, like, based on the historical truth of American women marrying British aristocracy in order to keep the British aristocracy cash flow going, but, unfortunately, the music was so loud, uh, in this particular documentary, I could, like, barely understand what she was saying for some of it, and that was really frustrating for me. So on Friday, I marked that I got coffee. The lavender matcha drink is back, and that's one of my favorites. So I did mark that. Oh, I messed this up a couple of times. So I did wake up in the morning and I read Iron Flame, but then I forgot that I wanted to mark the coffee. So I tried to pull it up and I was going to move it somewhere else. And I ended up ripping this label quite a bit. So, whoops. I used Jafar on Friday for speech therapy because for some reason, my therapy sessions on Fridays are so chaotic. I don't know what it is. I think the kids are just tired by the end of the week. And so they come into my room and they just want to play games and they just want to do the fun things. And I'm so tired that I don't really fight them on it. So, and I know a lot of teachers do like fun Fridays. But yep, so I tried to move that label and I just gave up and decided to do a new one because I had a ton of labels. So, that coffee script is from the planner bundle, and then I also used a playing card to mark that I did session notes. Um, I didn't do all my notes, but I did do some of them, so that was kind of nice. And then I went home and I decided that I really wanted to cook, and I made like turkey cutlets in like a wine garlic reduction sauce with um, roasted mini potatoes. And I don't know, I was in the mood to cook, and I thought it would be fun, and it actually cheered me up a lot, and it was nice to do that. I was not supposed to eat meat on Friday. I didn't have lunch, so I did fast, but I did have turkey cutlets because I didn't want to waste the turkey. And yeah, and I also like bought Starbucks on Friday during Lent, which is like not great, but eep. Um, and then my husband and I watched TV. We were watching, I think at this point we were still watching Zero Day. I can't remember anymore. I think it was Zero Day. And then I did read Iron Flame. So I've not finished Iron Flame. It is March 19th when I'm recording this voiceover. And a bunch of really good books came out yesterday. The new John Green book, Everything is Tuberculosis, is out. And then the Sunrise at the Reaping, the new Suzanne Collins book, is out. So, in my mind, it's like 2010 and all my favorites are coming back. So I did sleep really poorly on Friday night. And so I did wake up like in a kind of a mess. I made French press coffee and avocado toast, and I used that little iced coffee sticker is from Carly Plans. I thought it was really, really cute, even though my coffee was hot. um, so then I ran a bunch of errands. It was kind of fun. I went to the library and picked up some holds and dropped off some stuff that was due. And then I did sort of a little shopping run. I went to Starbucks inside of a Target and I got another coffee drink. So that was two in a row, guys, if for those keeping track. Oh, this is one of my favorite things Planner Pixie Co. does. She does these like fold out labels, which are super useful. And you get two with every printable kit, or like ultimate kits. I think they also come with those. And I just think they're fantastic. And I wish that I had more of them in each kit because I would have used them multiple times. But anyway, so I did mark Starbucks and shopping. And I usually, when I do these like fun little activities like this, I come home and I feel relaxed and I feel refreshed. I did not feel any of those things. I was just really, really anxious. That was just my mood. Um, and so I did mark that in my planner. Um, we did have really delicious brown bag seafood. That was our takeout for Saturday night. I'd never ordered from them, and I got this delicious salmon thing, and my husband got shrimp, and it was really, really good. So that was kind of fun to try a new place. And then it was my movie pick, and I was kind of in the mood for like dystopian because we're living in a dystopian society right now. So my husband has never seen the Hunger Games franchise, so I was like, let's watch this. So we watched the first one. I actually ended up buying it because four movies cost $40 to buy, and I was like, that's actually a really good deal. So because I watch those movies a lot. And then on Sunday, I just noted that we slept in. I had this little cuddle icon from Carly Plans. I think they're axolotls. They're really cute. And then, of course, it was daylight savings time, so we lost an hour. Boo. Um, and this has actually messed with me ever since. Still not gotten used to the time change, and I've been staying up later, and it's really weird. So I had a lot of really fun things planned this day because my neighbor Amu, and I decided we were going to go to brunch at this new restaurant that just opened. I think they'd only been open about a week, called North Italia, and it was really, really good. They did kind of mess up our order, but again, it's a new restaurant. I think they're still finding their legs. But when we got there, we had to wait half an hour, so we did end up going. It was in the middle of like a shopping mall type area, so we went to Bath and Body Works, and I got a bunch of soaps and wallflowers and things like that. We smelled the Princess collection, which did not impress, I have to say. And then after brunch, we went to Barnes and Noble and did a little book shopping. So all in all, it was a really fun afternoon. And then I went over to her house, which is like down the street from my house, and she made me some mocktails, and that was really fun. So I just used the jasmine sticker and marked that we relaxed. And that was it. That is the full week. It was a really nice way to cap off the week. I had a great time. And so here I'm doing like a slow pan of the second half of the week. I meant to do it for the other side, but I couldn't get the editing quite right. So now we're going to see both of them side by side together, and you get the full picture. I really love all the colors in this. I love all the jewel tones, and especially the sunset hollow is just really fun. Um, so again, thank you so much for watching. I know this was like a two-parter and a very long video. If you're interested in more videos, please keep watching. I'm just showing you some of the things that I had left. I actually didn't use a lot of the pattern stuff because I sort of forgot about it. But these kits, I could definitely see somebody getting the ultimate kit and then using it again and again. So thanks again and have a great week, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.